G'day guys, it's Joel from Wicked Fishing Ventures here. Just wanted to have a little talk to you today about surface fishing. It's something I've been asked about a few times, so I just thought I'd make a video about it today. It's got to be personally one of my absolute favourite forms of fishing. If it can be caught on surface, I'll want to try it. I really love surface fishing. It's just visual and exciting, and I'll throw surface whenever I get the chance. So it's also a great way of catching fish. Particularly bass that I'll be talking about today, but of course these techniques can be used on other species of fish, not just bass. But first off, we'll start by talking about the lures, kind of lures that we use. Here we go. Alrighty, so I just got a little tackle box on the table here. Move that out of the way for now, and we'll start off with just some basics. So depends on the sort of area that you're fishing as well. So if you're fishing heavy structure, lots of trees, overgrown branches and stuff like that hang over the water, so you might want to throw a insect sort of replication. This is a little cicada or something like that, or a pompadour. Pompadours are a personal favourite of mine. They're just so loud, so noisy, and they're really good lures. I love throwing them for bass. This is a micro pompadour here. Of course, the junior pompadours are a good size as well. They're a bit bigger, but these are great lures to throw. If you're throwing around weedy banks, that sort of thing, in a dam maybe, you're fishing around lily pads and weed, a frog representation can sometimes be pretty good as well. This is a Savage Gear pot frog, a little soft belly frog there. As you can see, it compresses down, allows you to hook up. I've also got a stinger hook on there too. I love throwing these in the river as well, so it's not just for weedy situations, but it's better to match the hatch. Also got a few of these Trickies frogs here, soft plastic frogs. I usually just rig them with a single hook, and then just a slow roll on top of the water, get those legs kicking. They're also a great option. Also got your hard body ones like your poppers here, little Lucky Craft popper, I think, no, Eco Gear popper, and also just walk the dog type lures, which are excellent for when there's things like a lot of bait, so they represent a bait fish pretty well, darting away. Anything off the surface these fish are going to have a crack at. Also don't mind the Savage Gear rats as well. A bit of a fun one to throw. Such awesome action in that tail. So yeah, there's huge varieties of surface lures to throw. It's just about matching what you think the fish are eating on that particular day, whether it be bait fish, insects or frogs, something like that. What I've got here is a buzz bait from Trickies Lures, which you usually work along the surface. This one's obviously in the packet. I've got a whole bunch in the tackle box downstairs in the boat. But these are excellent lures. These are the sort of lures that you'd use on a really hot day. Where I usually fish in the Mary River, I usually I can throw surface pretty much all year round, depending on the conditions, of course. But these are what you want to throw in summertime, really hot conditions, because the fish are more fired up and more likely to chase this lure, because there's a bit of a fast retrieve on these lures. Same goes with the Trickies frogs and stuff like that, fast retrieve. If there's a bit colder conditions, then I'll switch over to something that I can work particularly slow, like the walking dog lure, because you can stop and pause, give it lots of breaks. Then that just usually during winter the bass are a bit slow, bit sluggish, so you slow the retrieve right down, and that can usually bring up results. But so those are just the kind of lures I like to throw. Like I said, of course it depends on conditions of the day. As for colours, I like throwing darker colours. Personally, I like throwing darker colours because it brings up more of a better silhouette on the bottom. so the fish are able to see it a lot easier. Of course, bright colours work as well. I've found with bass that they're not particularly picky, so they'll usually, if you land a surface lure in front of their face, they're going to eat it most of the time. They're not too concerned about colours, but yeah, I prefer a darker colour, just because it creates a nice silhouette on top of the water. If it's dirty water, then yeah, I'll go for a brighter colour, stuff like that. I like to use lighter line when I'm fishing surface, mainly because it's a more of a visual approach to fishing, so it's more about the fish relying on what they're looking at the time, so I like to use a bit thinner light leader so that they can't see the line and doesn't distract them from attacking that lure. I'm sure there's people out there that disagree, so it's not really, that's just my opinion on the matter. Absolutely love surface fishing, as I said. So a few more tips and tricks is definitely practice your accuracy casting. Accuracy can play a huge role in just any sort of structure fishing, but I've found with surface fishing, even just if you're a few centimetres off, sometimes they won't hit it at all. Sometimes you've just got to really be pinpoint accuracy, right on the dot, ready for, right where those fish are staying, pretty much. With surface fishing, of course, low light conditions, so early morning, late afternoon. If there's a bit of overcast that day, you can obviously keep fishing longer into the day. But usually as the sun comes up, those fish will move into deeper water and stop hitting on the surface. Of course, this is different for depending on where you're fishing. If you're fishing in a small creek, usually they'll eat whatever comes their way, so they'll hit surface more during the day. If you're in a big dam or something like that, they'll head deep pretty quick. So yeah, there's only a small window of opportunity for surface fishing most of the time. In your dams, you wouldn't fish surface in the colder months, of course. It's mainly in the warmer months that you fish surface in the dams. In the river, of course, I can fish surface all year round, and I'm lucky to have the fish hit most of the time and have great surface action out in the river. What else can I talk to you about? Yeah, so working on your accuracy, of course. You land that lure as close as you can to the structure. Now, a lot of people like to say that they like to leave the lure sit there. I haven't found any difference either way. Of course, if it's colder or you feel like the fish are being a bit sluggish on that day, then yeah, definitely leave it there a bit longer. Let it sit in the structure a bit longer. People usually say that you wait for the rings around in the water where the lure's landed to dissipate, and then you start your retrieve. Like I said, I haven't really found that that's a factor. I usually just move straight into the retrieve, which sometimes can also be really good. If that lure's moving out of that structure really quick, that only gives them a small opportunity to react, and they'll strike at it a bit more. But yeah, like I said, slow conditions, try slowing up your retrieves, and just more pauses, allowing those fish more time to look at that lure. Like I said, sometimes it doesn't matter. In summer, when the fish are a bit more active, you can try a lot more fast moving lures, and in winter you can try slower moving lures. With the surface walk the dog lure, these are a favourite of mine as well. I like to you can do lots of slow pauses with them, and then they got a great action as you twitch that rod tip and get that lure just walking across the water. They're an excellent lure to use, but like I said, match the hatch. If you see a lot of bait swimming around, a walk the dog or a popper is very good. Like I said, weed. If there's lots of weed edges and lily pads, throw a frog. trees and structure and stuff like that, throw insects. But yeah, you know, it's all about trial and error pretty much. So try what you think will work, and yeah, hold on, because it's going to be some of the best surface fishing you ever done, or some of the best fishing you ever done, because yeah, like I said, I love surface fishing. So thanks for listening, guys. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to talk about. Drop a comment in the comment section below, and tell us what you would like to see from us. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one.